Hey folks, I want to show you something that I got today in the mail off of eBay. These are fishing molds so you can make your own worms. Alright, this one here is exactly the same shape and size as the trick worms that I use. Okay, now these worms are old. They've torn, they've become unusable because, you know, they won't hold hooks where they need to anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt these down. I'm going to melt these old worms down in a small pan on my stove. Alright, and what I'm going to do here, I've got a little bit of cooking oil. I'm going to go ahead and just rub that cooking oil over this mold so the stuff doesn't stick in there like that. I'll get back to you in just a second once I get this stuff melting. Let's check on them, see how they're doing. Ah, they're smoking. Let's turn the fan on. Be back in a minute. Okay, folks, I think I may be ready to pour that in there. Let's see what happens. Are you on the right side of the... Move y'all around just a little bit. Give you a better angle. Now, how to get that into those fingers, I do not know. Maybe I need to heat it up some more so it's a little bit more pliable or runny. Be back. Folks, I don't like how this is turning out. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to take this out and throw it back in there and remelt it down. And try to get it a lot more melted before I stick it in the mold, because it didn't work as well as I wished it would have. Let's re-oil our mold. I just need it to be more runny before I put it in the mold, because it was too thick. It didn't want to go into the fingers and stuff of the lizard mold. Okay, folks, I've decided to go ahead and try to use the worm mold instead, because this is my first time doing this. So rather than experiment with the lizard, I'll just go ahead and try the worms until I learn how to do this. Of course, I'm a little shaky right now. That probably doesn't help at all, trying to do this. And I'm running out of stuff. I've run out. Didn't have quite enough to finish that one mold, but that's okay. I can just throw it back in the mold and use it on the next batch. Okay, now that I got the mold full, I want to go ahead and just let that cool off before I try to trim any of the excess garbage off the edges with a little X-Acto knife, and before I try to pull them out. I'll be back in a minute and show you all the finished product when I get ready to pull them out. Okay, folks, I've trimmed off all the excess that was around the edges there with a little X-Acto knife and credit card. It kind of peeled right off, so I just threw it back in the pan so I can use it for next time. Let's go ahead and see how this comes out. I know that this is the first time that I've done this, okay, and I probably didn't use enough in each one, but let's see what happens here. See if they want to come out. See how they come out. That come out nice. There's a little bit of imperfection in it because that was the one that I didn't have enough in. Let's try this next one. Well, it comes right out. I used peanut oil. I brushed the peanut oil in there before I poured the plastic in, and that worm, you can see it just pops right on out. So those two ought to be pretty good to go. And I hope fish like peanut oil. And that, folks, is how you can recycle your old fishing worms. Right there on rednecksgonewild.com. There's a brand new worm with no holes in it. It'll hold a hook perfectly. And once I get this process down a little bit better, I'll figure out how to make my lizard back there. And I may want to use some white on that one or something. I don't know, maybe green at first and then white on the top so it kind of looks like a white belly. Because most lizards, I think, have a white belly. I don't know. Anyhow, thanks for watching this one.